Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Mana in the top right side of the map playing the ESL Weekly Cup EU number 209. Down in the bottom left side, we've got REYNOR playing on his Jack Frost account. I found out, apparently, because he's dyed his hair kind of like a super white, kind of platinum blonde, almost icy look, is why he's named himself Jack Frost. And he's going for a 15 hatchery, 15 spawning pool. Now, REYNOR's been loving the 15 hatch, 15 pool lately. I love that we've got yet another Zerg player converting to the glory of this opening. And we've got the gas coming down. Now, he's in ZVT, REYNOR's been doing this where he actually puts one worker on gas only. And it looks like he's doing the two workers on the natural like he does against Terran. Mana being annoying with his probe, but he has to back off. Oh, he's not even got a single worker on gas. What the hell? That's going to be a mistake, right? He's only rallying in. Now, this is such a greedy opening. Just super mineral focused. He's going to be very late on the ling speed. Mana's building placement is a little peculiar, I gotta say. Not sure what's happening with that cyber core. It's very odd placement. Adept is on the way. Mana is going to be going for probes towards the natural. Now, I've heard from multiple people this was a fun series. And it's kind of funny because I was chatting to Mana before this series was played. After seeing him comment on our cast of him versus Bly from the EU Regionals, which is an older game, but we finally put that one up. And it was a really fun series. I was like, dude, so much fun. And Mana's just like, I'm so embarrassed, man. Like, Bly has not practiced in like in the last year. Basically, he's full-time game deving, and he only shows up to play the big regional tournaments. He's like, I'm so embarrassed that series was so like competitive. He's like, I practice a lot. This should not be close. And I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, it's Bly. The man is a trickster. You should have absolutely no shame. That man gives everyone a hard time. But it was kind of funny to see. I think Mana's got a big boy of confidence after his Stormgate show match performance, beating Moon and TLO very one-sidedly. And looking ridiculous in that show match over at DreamHack Atlanta. ESL Masters Atlanta. Now, we did see a drone for an Adept. That's a good trade for REYNOR. That was not worth it for Mana at all. And he's going Void Ray into third Nexus. Not my favorite play. Does feel like REYNOR should be able to get ahead. His ling speed only now starting at about 3 minutes 20. But he's got 4 queens. He's got a great work account. And he's got a pretty well-timed third base. And this is the advantage of REYNOR's version of the 15-15 is he basically is so mineral-focused. He just gets 4 queens out super early. His ling speed is very delayed. But a combination of lots of queens, lots of drones, and a quick third base, it's pretty damn greedy opening, and I haven't seen anyone punish him big time just yet. Now, I was also pointing out to Mana, I'm like, mate, it doesn't matter if Bly doesn't practice. That man's done more proxy hatcheries and Nidus worms in his career, and it's you don't need to practice it that much. If you're a master trickster who's playing a multiple, chess game where you're trying to make your opponent make mistakes all game, he doesn't need to be perfect mechanically. He's going to catch you with surprises, but Mana's been on a roll since then. He's definitely had a few really fun action-packed series versus top players, and I don't know, I just feel like he's feeling himself, having some fun mojo. And sometimes that happens when a player starts practicing other games, doing other show matches. Just YouTube channel's been popping off a little bit as well. It's a good chance to show off. And that's actually the point. Go down to the description and open that up. Click on the YouTube channel of Mana. I'm not usually around when these videos get published. I'll try to poke my head in the comments and pin a comment with a link to his YouTube channel as well. But he's been doing a lot of fun challenges and stuff as well. So he was kind enough to share these replays with me. Please go say hello and give him a subscription over there as well. I feel like REYNOR's in a really good spot though. Let's be honest, guys. It's charge +1. It's a good style if REYNOR doesn't know about it. Don't get me wrong. Actually, wait, he's only on 2 gas. Oh, he's playing mass charge. Oh, he's doing mass charge. Okay, does he go 4 base or does he do it like an all-in? That's 8 gate charge on 3 base, only 2 gases. Bit of a funky style coming out for Mana. REYNOR's trying to take a 4th. His Roach Warren's finally on the way. If REYNOR stops at 66 workers and makes nothing but roaches, I think he'll be fine. But if he gets a bit distracted, gets a bit greedy, it could be a problem. Oh, Mana not focusing the hatchery. That was lazy. Void Ray does kill an Overlord on the left side though. And he cancels the hatchery and gets the drone. Super worth for Mana. He's going to take a quick 4th. He's doing it. Oh, this is awesome. So this is a mass mineral style, guys. Kind of, I think, really designed based off of, I guess we could give Stardust credit, 2013. 2014 Stardust looked fantastic with this build. But it's the more modern version is something that Haas was doing for many years. Now, double robo is on the way in the natural. Nina recently streaming a lot of this style as well. Single gas mass Zealot. Zealots are warping in, seeing a fast fourth, and Zealots warping in. Reynor goes for 10 drones. He's got to be careful, though. He's built drones. He sees a fast fourth. He thinks, oh, you're building a fourth base. I need to be greedy. He builds 14 workers. He doesn't know about these Zealots. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Reynor. Let's go to Reynor's camera, guys. We're on Reynor's camera right now. He's about to find out. Oh, God. He jumps down there, and immediately he's going, oh, God, build roaches, but he only had 2 lava. He cancels the gold base. Nice move by Mana there. He's got Zealots coming in on the left as well. Reynor doesn't seem to have noticed those. He sees them now. He's like, oh god, oh god. He's pulling drones back, realizing he's not going to be able to defend that gold base. Pulling drones away. Ling's trying to deal with this. Stasis Trap does get taken out, thankfully. Oh, he's losing a lot right now. He doesn't have the roaches. The Ling's struggling against the Zealots in the choke point. What's happening with his queens on the right side? He wasn't looking at it, so a queen goes down without getting transfused. He's trying to drop those transfuses and pull back now, but he's on struggle street. Let's go back to everyone's camera here, as it's a bit frantic watching Reynor's camera. Mana gets a fantastic trade. Remember, these Zealots are +1, so they 2-shot Zerglings, and that is huge. A +1 attack is massive. If there's no carapace to counter it, then that goes very well for the Protoss, who's now going double Robo Immortal. Players like to mass Roaches to deal with Mass Zealot, and you know what? Immortals wreck those Roaches. Oracle's gonna kill the Queens. You're kidding me! He gets 2 Queens. I don't think he has the energy to get the 3rd one. Just runs out of energy. Roaches here trying to deal with these Zealots, but still stuck on not that many bases. He's got a hatchery down there, does Reynor. 81 drones, but that gold base will get cancelled yet again. Whoa, he waits to the very last second. He tries to build a Spore Crawler, cancels that as well. Nice micro for Reynor, but more Zealots coming in the left side as well. 8 gate, +1 Zealot looking great. +2's on the way. There's 2 Immortals about to be 4 behind it. The Zealots are wrecking any Zerglings. Any small number of Roaches as well also get chewed up by them. Fantastic trades right now for Mana. Surprising Reynor with a quick 4th base style. Reynor just needed to be Overseer scouting the production. He needed to be scouting the gas count, but Reynor is famous for being lazy on his scouting. I always talk about how him and Dark just don't scout the back of their opponent's bases a lot. They kind of just look at the map and see what's happening there, and that's why if you've got a very clever trick like this, and Reynor happens to scout the 4th the second it goes down, so the trick really plays off, it looks fantastic. Now, that being said, it is Ravager Baneling, +2 melee, Adrenal Glands on the way. He's still on 80 workers. Those trades were great for Mana, but what's Mana's transition? He's going up to Immortals, he's building a Prism, he's got a Templar Archives on the way, he's building some Cannon Battery everywhere. These cannons in a row are interesting. They're not bad, but they can get blown up by Banelings or Biles very easily. Bit of a semi-wall there, going to 10 gateways as well. So Mana looks like he's just going to play like an Immortal Stormstar, but with only 1 Forge, so no armor or shield upgrades. No Blink on the way, and no Psystorm started just yet, though I can imagine that's only seconds away from starting. Man, Reynor's ability to just use his APM and micro to survive. I feel like a lot of players would have lost 20 drones or all of their queens or something, but yeah, he lost, what, 8 queens, 6 roaches, a lot of Zerglings. Only 8 drones went down. His Oracle's getting a few Ravages. Nice snipes there for Mana. Oh, Zealots on the south going after the hatchery. Zerglings need to move. Let the Banelings in. Let the Banelings in, Reynor. Oh, he loses the hatchery. Nice snipe there for Mana. Mana's got Immortal Archon out front. He still does not have any Storm or anything like that. Prism Micro is pretty good, though. This might be an overextension for Reynor chasing this. But, oh, he's got the numbers, doesn't he? Dude, if he can kill all of these Immortals and Archons, this is so bad for Mana. Mana had a good start to this game. But as the Lings come in, he's going to lose his entire army. Oh, that is very rough for him. He saves an Immortal and an Archon, but he's got very little behind it. That base is going to get destroyed by Banelings. The Banelings go towards the mineral line. A few of them going for the Zealots would be nice, but nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Oh, there's a hole! There's a hole! I did not think there was a hole. He turns the probes around to attack the Banelings, though. Oh, no! Mana with a misclick there. Attacks with the probes into the Banelings, and 13 probes do go down. You know what? He actually killed a lot of the Roach Ravager, though. He does have a full base over there, so we can transfer some workers back over, repopulate that. Mana is playing an A-move army. He doesn't even... No Psystorm, just Archons and Immortals en masse. It's an old-school army of Vipers and Broodlord tech is on the way. Reynor's economy is not that crazy. He's got the gold base up, but he's going to need more gas and potentially a few more drones as time goes on. He's not in that super rich position that he's used to. And of course, Mana has instantly reprobed back up to 78. Warp Prism's moving across. We've got a Void Ray there, cleaning up Overlord. Trying to take a fifth on the left. Mana, watch out, Mana. Mana, run, 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 run. Mana! Oh no, he's not watching. Oh no, oh no. Mana taking massive, massive baneling hits. 19 more probes going down. Reynor maintaining a big economic advantage and getting some good trades. That being said, Mana's still going to make a fantastic army. So you got to get the Broodlords out. 3 Corruptors here are on the way. Zerglings with Adrenal will easily clean up those Zealots. Queens should be able to deal with that as well. Did he see the Greatest Spire? He does now. Mana's got to be aware of that Greatest Spire now. He might want to push right here. Storm starts up for Mana. It's a later Storm, and his supply not as high as we'd like it to be, but he's got 5 Immortal, 6 Archons, 4 High Templar gathering energy. Vipers could easily just abduct or Parasitic Bomb that. He abducts and Parasitic Bombs. Nicely done there. Viper's going to continue to consume energy, and there are 3 Broodlords morphing. Now, 3 Broodlords is not that many. Even only 2 for now. But it will stop any big push from killing him. So if Reynor's happy to play late game, just a few Broodlords is fine, but he's got to deny this base in the top left. Right now, Mana can't defend that and the right side at the same time. Give him a bit more time and he'll be able to. But Reynor slipping on his scouting a bit. He hasn't checked this right side base for a long time. He's going to send a Zergling up there now. And he's forgotten to check that left side. He's attacking in here, not realizing there's a free pickup right there. It's a bit of an exposed base, so he's just not expecting it. There's a probe pops out, but it disappears from vision. Oh, Reynor, this is so unfortunate. He just doesn't realize. And Mana's like, oh, cool. I just got away with murder. Third Broodlord is morphing. No more Broodlords building, though. Reynor still doesn't have the gas here. He's only got 1 gas mining on the bottom. Reynor is basically playing Ravagerling Bane with just a few Broodlords to defend counterattacks, and I think he's got the money. He could be going for a proper Broodlord push. Blink is not finished yet. Now is the window. Oh, great size Storm for Mana. There's 40 seconds until Blink's here. Once Blink's here, Stalkers can deal with Broodlords, but Reynor's not really rounding out his army. He's building 3 more Corruptors now. It does feel like he's giving Mana a bit more time to max out than I would like to see personally. That being said, Reynor has a big bank advantage. The only thing he's missing is the gas, and that's what I am a little worried about. Being able to rebuild Zerglings is fantastic, but Mana's got a rich gas about to be mining. He's going to take this Nexus as well. Maybe not the best choice. Nexus does immediately die, no cancel. Mana's playing a mass ground army. Plasma Shields is on the way. This is where the lack of Second Forge bites you a little bit, because there's going to be +3 melee Broodlings in about a minute and a half, and they will ruin Archons. We already had, say, +2 Plasma Shields getting close to finished. That would give them a bit more tankiness in the long run. Okay, here we go. Archon Stalker on the right side. Got a bunch of High Templar on the left as well. Mana's got to keep his army split really well. Reynor not quite just rolling Banelings in just yet. I feel like some drops would be really nice. Reynor's just chilling for a long time here, but he doesn't have any Broodlords. Just Infestors, just Vipers. Oracle does get snapped. That is the second last Oracle. There's still 1 left. Second Forge goes up in the main base. So we should see +2 Plasma Shields, +1 armor on the way in the near future. Oh, Broodlord's caught in the open. Stalkers jump on top. 1 Broodlord goes down. Blinding Cloud's a little bit slow to be used there. Definitely needs to push this side, but Mana's pushing the right at the same time. Oh my god, he's out of position. Reynor leaving his Broodlords in the open. He thought Mana was going to back off. Getting a bit cocky there. Ling Bane eats big storms on the right side of the map at the same time. The Broodlords are getting jumped on. Oh gosh, Mana absolutely annihilating those Broods. Gets rid of 3 of them. He's going to need Infestors to help defend those next time, or split up his ground army. Ground army does overwhelm the Archon army on the right, though. That's really good for Reynor. Reynor is traded better right now than Mana. These Vipers need to hide. The Vipers will get out of there. Stalker's coming forward. High Templar going to drop some storms. First one whiffs. Second one lands pretty well, but kills his own Observer, unfortunately. Stasis Trap could be nice. Bile will take that out. Only a single Bile to take out a Stasis Trap. Immortal Archon getting surrounded. More Stalkers coming in. Decent Storm on the rear of that army. And Mass Zealot Archon in the south. Where did these guys come from? How the hell? Oh my god, Stasis Traps in the combat used on top of these Roaches. Reynor has a bunch of lava. He's building Ultra Ling Roach right now, but he's losing 18 drones on the south side. He's trying to surround this army in the north. The Lings are doing pretty well, but that Stasis Trap could be massive. That Stasis Trap will freeze even more of these units. And look at that recall. Very nice recall. He's going to lose a bunch of units, but about 6 or 7 Stalkers survive. Mana goes in. He's going to take out 1 more hatchery. That's huge. Just focuses the hatchery. Doesn't have recall available. Will get surrounded. But this economic damage was necessary. If he didn't take these bases out, Reynor would just remax and annihilate. But guess what? He's going Ultras, and there's double Immortal building. Double Immortal, Rex, Ultras. There's only 2 Immortals. If you can get to 6 Immortals, though, that's going to be amazing. Mana will lose this base one more time. REYNOR is not redroning. He's just kind of retaking bases, transferring workers, and he's looking for the win. Mass Archon, though. Psystorm ruins Zerglings, and if you get Archons in front of Immortals, Ultras will go down to that as well. I think Broodlords are necessary. Oh! REYNOR unzips his fly like an Italian man whose football team just lost and is angry outside at the bus stop and decides to start defacing some public property. We've all seen this one before, man. And, you know, this is why a lot of nerds are very respectful. They learn from the Koreans, not the Italian boys. The Italian boys, they learn from the football hooligans. And does burn down that Nexus with that acidic caustic spray. It's going to go hide on the right side for a moment. The Ultras and the Lings pulling back right here. Neuroparasite's on the way. +2 Carapace is on the way, as well as Chitinous Plating. And man, I did not expect this game to go this long. I think Mana REYNOR is usually going to be one guy kills the other by the 12-minute mark, but this is, I mean, I guess I should have expected it because people did say it was a fun series. It is only a best of 3. So far, very action-packed. Lings get us around. First Archon goes down. Second Archon goes down. Good trade here. Zerglings are cheap, guys. But the Oracle and the remaining cannon battery, plus those Zealots, will defend for now. Unfortunately, Mana doesn't have the money to use his second forge, so he's sitting on just +1 shields here. Storms try to go down. The Abduct's very nice on one of those Immortals, but look at that. Does feed back the other Viper before it can do anything other than Blinding Cloud. The Immortal Archon Stutter Step is nice, trying to micro back. The Ultras don't have a surround on this. They're struggling to get the wraparound, but the High Templar are gone. The Prism Micro for Mana is slick. The Immortal's trying to pull back on that right side. He does save 2 of them. But oh god, he's got to pull this Immortal back. He doesn't have a Nexus finish there, so no battery overcharge available. But look at that, the Ultras are pretty damaged. Feedback goes down, but the Fungal lands first of all. High Templar falls. More High Templar coming down here. Oh jeez. Oh jeez, Rick. Oh jeez, that's a lot of Space Cows, man. A bunch of Ultralisks are falling. The Archon will die, but a lot of Ultras died for that. 8 Ultras have gone down. And the Stalkers with the hunt. Nice move by Mana. He gets all the Ultras. He takes them down. Remember, guys, REYNOR never rebuilt his economy, but the Ling Infestor, the punish is massive, kills all those Stalkers. REYNOR's only on 60 workers. He can't afford to remax. Remember, that was kind of like an all-in attack. He didn't actually damage the economy. There is a crazy amount of gas coming in, and remember, gas is the difference maker. Zerg can't make combat units with gas. Protoss can. This is Protos's great equalizer in this matchup. Oh, but Mana does get caught transferring. Now, these Zerglings are 3-1, about to be 3-2. They do wreck with Adrenal Glands against Zealots. You need a lot of Zealots so that you're stopping the Lings from surrounding, and an Archon or Storm mixed in for splash damage. Ultra Ling will defend the base in the bottom. So REYNOR's both defending a base and clearing a Nexus, but wait, there's more army behind that. Oh god, he comes in with the Neural, does steal a few Immortals and Archons, but it looks like the focus fire from Mana's there. He breaks the Neurals. Oh, the Abduct on the Prism. Can the Queens take out the Prism? Well, they stopped it from picking up, and that's all that matters. REYNOR annihilates that army. He sticks the tentacle into the Immortals, makes them shoot their own team. Mana only saves one of those Immortals. That is a big problem. Mana still has a lot more money coming in. If he can get a big round of Archons, maybe he can survive, but he needs more Immortals, and he just lost so many at such a crucial moment in this game. Right now, REYNOR is on 59 workers, 64 for Mana. It's the gas available that helps Mana a lot right now, but an Archon gets surrounded by Zerglings. Great moves by REYNOR. Oracle turns on its laser beam, goes after the Infestor. That's going to be a lovely kill. Burrow isn't there. Burrow only now starts up. REYNOR needs to start another base. These bases are mining out, and he's only got one fresh base. If REYNOR doesn't start a hatchery right now, he's going to bleed out. His income's already dropping, and he's not building a hatchery. REYNOR is having fun with his Corruptors. They did some good PP harass earlier. He did some great Ling run buys, but if he does not get another hatchery up, his income is dry. His bases are drying out, and he's not fixing it. He's focused on denying Mana's bases, thinking I've got fresh bases down here, but the gold's gone completely. This base is half gone. Void Ray is on the way. Mana's building up a killer core of units. Broodlords, I think, will actually be the counter. Maybe that's why he's building a single Void Ray. Ultralisk is here, but runs around the wrong side of the mineral line. You don't want to lose that hatchery. Surely not. Mana being annoying, though. Just trying to pick off whatever he can. I like this harassment. He knows there's not much anti-air. That being said, there are 2 Corruptors, so you don't want to lose those 2 Archons. The Corruptors are going to go hunt around for this. I don't know what this is down here, by the way. Anyone who has any theories, let us know in the comments. I feel like it's like a big tunnel they were building, or maybe a big energy cannon or something. I don't know. Viper's coming forward. Watch out for the Abducts. Guys, he doesn't have any High Templar for feedback. He doesn't have any High Templar there for feedback. If the Vipers abduct the Immortals, then this could be deadly. The Observer sees it coming. It sees it coming. Let's go. Stasis Trap bolts the Zerglings. But Blinding Cloud comes down. Neural Parasite. But the Ultras are blocked. The Ultras are blocked. He can't get on top of the army. That Stasis Trap is absolutely deadly. Oh, he's going to abduct one Immortal. But look, he can't get in on top. REYNOR needs to stop fighting here. REYNOR needs to pull out. REYNOR cramming his army into a choke point. He's getting a bit too horny. The Immortals, a few of them go down, but he's still attacking into a choke point. And my god, Mana just slayed his army. REYNOR thought with the Neural Parasites and the Blinding Clouds it was worth it. But if your Ultras can't get on top to punish during those spell durations, we see what happens. And that was a savage defense. Mana with the Stasis Trap blocking the Zerg army. And REYNOR getting a little bit too pig-headed. Does have to pull drones from his freshest base in the bottom right. He's got a new base up on the left. But will that be enough? Oh, Lings! Oh, they find the Probe Rally. That's dangerous. Remember, though, the army pushing in. There's only 2 Queens, 2 Ultras, and a few Zerglings. Infestor's trying to build, but they won't have energy for Neural Parasite. The army pushing in. REYNOR's in trouble. His Ultras can't fit through that hole! Oh, no, he loses one. The other one almost goes down as well. That being said, Mana's economy is in D-Town right now. It is getting very, very much wrecked. Zealots on REYNOR's last bit of economy, but REYNOR's Zerglings will defend, and the drones go back to mine. Bottom right base for Mana going down. Mana's only got the top left base and this base over here on the left. His 4th and 5th base are up and mining. Spine Crawlers do beat Mana away from their base a little bit. Oracle almost goes down, but does survive. Storm on the Lings looking very, very slick. Even though the income's very bad for Mana, I think REYNOR's is just equally as bad. He's only got 1 fresh base. And I think you've got enough minerals and gas coming in from there. Not to mention, if you reclaim this base on the right, Mana has income and Mana has double the army supply. I don't know what you can do here other than get insane spells. But REYNOR doesn't even have gas income, so he can't build Vipers. He's got to Neural Parasite the army, Storm his own army, steal a bunch of Immortals and Archons and make them hit each other. With no gas, he just can't do that. Cybercore is trying to be rebuilt over here so he can make some Stalkers. High Templar warped in and they go down before they can morph into an Archon. Slick micro by REYNOR. His Ling Run buys are a menace. But that big attack over here was just such a big mistake in hindsight. Easy for us to call from the sidelines. But if they are turtling at home, it's very hard. I always say an Ultra Spellcaster army, if you can flank them in the open ground, is one of the strongest armies in the game, even against Immortal Archon. Because you can Blinding Cloud and the Immortal Archon can't shoot. You can Neural Parasite. You can come in from all sides. But a melee army that attacks through a choke point, especially with a Stasis Trap, is a big mistake. Lings on hold position, ignoring the cannon. Killing as many of these probes as they can. The batteries are getting worn down. Could just try to kill the pylon, potentially. And indeed, he'll do just that. That will depower this. Probes and cannon's going to take some damage. Probe's going to try to run away. Mana says, I've had enough. I'm going to counterattack. 6 Immortals. 6 Archons, 4 Immortals, 6 Stalkers, and a handful of Zealots. 2 High Templar in the Prism with the Storm Drop available. A bunch of Ultra Queen Ling Immortal trying to defend. He's got Infestors here as well. Coming in, the feedbacks go down after the Neurals do land. The Stalkers trying to break those Neurals. They do start to kill the Infestors on the right side. Transfuses land on the Ultras, but it's not enough. The Immortal Archon breaks through the front line. And Mana takes an epic game 1 versus REYNOR. Very scrappy, very sloppy, but very, very action-packed. And the micro in a few of those engagements, especially the Warp Prism saving Immortals multiple times, very clutch. GG, well played. All right, that was a pretty slick game 1. I love the opening. Things went a bit awry when he overcommitted and lost that whole army, though, near the Watchtower. That was where he gave it up. That was where maybe a quick recall or something would have been good for Mana. REYNOR once again going for the 15 hatchery, 15 pool. Surprisingly, Mana hasn't countered it. I thought Mana might send a probe across at the very start to block this. So that's the weakness of the 15 hatchery, 15 pool. It's why if you send a probe across at the very start of the game, you can still block it, and then it does mess with their build quite a bit. I think it hasn't gained popularity because Cyril has been very good at anticipating when his opponent's going to do it and then doing a 14 hatchery. So people get demotivated with it, like, it's really bad to send a probe across at the very start. And then in that game, they've guessed I was going to do it. They've already built a 14 hatchery, and I've lost a lot of mining time. And it's really bad for the Protoss. As it is, he's just doing a gate scout, though. A very safe opening for Mana. Interesting. I feel like if I was playing REYNOR, I would very regularly not probe scout. Because I don't really see him 12 pool or anything like that very often. 12 pool and ZVP at the pro level is almost mythical at this point. Like Dark occasionally will do like a proxy hatchery in the wall with a 12 pool or something like that, but it's pretty rare. Good progress so far by Mana. Jack Frost handling it well though. Young icy-haired Reynor. Accidentally pulled 2 probes off minerals there to build the gas. It happens. Sometimes you accidentally drag a tiny box without even realizing it. You think you've just clicked, but you've done that, and you're like, oh, how did I select 2 probes? Like, what, didn't I just click? Just held that mouse down just a fraction of a second too long. Couple of Zerglings going to come out. Just 2 Zerglings to start. Now, there is an option to try and block the third normally against just 2 Zerglings. Because Reynor's third is already a little bit delayed, I don't think it makes sense to do that as Mana. He's chronoing a single Adept. Remember, Link Speed is insanely late with this build. He's only rallying workers onto gas very slowly. I wouldn't mind seeing that double Adept pressure. Come on, he's already queued it up. Second chrono. Second chrono. Let's go. Nope. Chronoing probes. Okay, fair enough. Just a single Adept for Mana. I really feel like double Adept could be super nice. You can see this hatchery goes down at about 235. And as all this lava pops out, you can see he starts Link Speed. Oh, actually, Link Speed's way quicker this game. Sorry. So Reynor actually did get his gas up earlier this time. This is a different version of the 15-15 to game 1. Ooh, okay, Mana gets a drone kill. Reynor should be canceling that spore, I think. Nice. Now, with this version, he doesn't get to spend his lava nearly as quickly from his lava injects. And you can see he's much slower to saturate the natural. Remember, last game at this point, this was 16 workers. It's only 12. He'll get there soon, but definitely a less economic opening to get an earlier Link Speed. And that would have been a bit better if there was a bit more kind of Adept mobility, or if you want a Ling Flood to cancel the third, but neither of those is coming up right now. It's just a Void Ray coming out to clean up the Overlord and help defend that base. Second Gateway will be completing the wall off momentarily. Void Ray is looking for the Overlord, but the Overlord is back up here. Will he find it? It's a good hiding spot for Reynor. Hasn't seen the Nexus yet, though, but the Void Ray is going to find it. Oh, Reynor he's like, quick! Evasive maneuvers. But it turns out when you're in a life raft and your opponent has a modern destroyer, you're not going to get out of there, guys. Doesn't matter how hard you paddle. 4 queens are out. 6 on the way now. Spore Crawler goes up in the natural. 3 queens are out front. Oracle coming in behind the Void Ray. But look at that. The Zergling dodged the Void Ray. Gets back on the tower. Sees the Oracle arriving. Great preparation by Reynor. He's going Forge and Twilight into 4 gas. 2 gas Forge Twilight. So again, it's same opening for Mana. I don't know about this. The problem here for Mana is I actually think Reynor, if he sees the same opening or realizes, and seeing so many probes go into the third this early is a pretty big tell in my opinion. Well, it's not in my opinion. It is a big tell if Reynor is paying attention. He might just go either Roaches off 3 base saturation. Like we said last time, don't drone the 4th until after you get a ball of Roaches out. He might also go Nidus Swarm Host. Usually against players that play Charge instead of Blink, he likes to punish them with Nidus Swarm Host plus Roach Ravager. And that's a very good style. You probably don't need to play it against the Mass Zealot style, but it would be a nice way to punish Mana. Oh, great Oracle Harassment. Not that great. He should have done more damage there. Oh, very poor, very poor. Mana gets 5 kills, but he could have got a lot more. He really misfired a few times. You can see he attacked this queen twice, that queen once. So 3 wasted attacks and loses an Oracle. Should have probably killed 7 or 8 probes if he was going to lose an Oracle there. And it was a bit unnecessary. Lair is about halfway done. Robo is on the way. Reynor's going up to 66 drones right now, whilst Mana hasn't started the 4th just yet, but I think that's only a few seconds away. Decent little Zergling pack on the map, and Roaches are already building. I love it. Oracle comes in there. It does get pushed back. Zergling's going forward. He's going to deny that 4th base. Great move. And he sees the Zealots. Now the Zerglings can loop around and try to cancel that 4th. I'd love to see him loop around and do that. It looks like he wants to monitor where those Zealots are for now. 7 Roaches are out. 6 more building. That combined with the Queens should be enough to defend, but he's going to have to cancel his 4th. Lings kill another probe attempting to take that 4th base. Mana desperate to get that up. Interesting that he's taking it at the front. I mean, if you go Swarmos, this is so easy to assault. Not that he needs to. Like I said, he could just go Mass Roach Queen or Roach Queen into Banelings. +1 range is really going to help with this. Second Robo's up now, so it's going to be that double Immortal production after this Observer's out. Zealot's moving to the right side. They don't see a 4th base there, so he knows he's kept REYNOR on 3 base while he's going up to 4, which feels kind of good as a Protoss, but you got to realize this is not a normal Protoss setup. There's no sentries. First Immortal's only halfway done. Second Immortal didn't even start there. It looks like he misclicked it earlier. And oh, Void Ray goes down. Very nice snipe. REYNOR's being annoying. Now he's got a much better read on what's happening. He's going to go Overlord speed. I think REYNOR's just going to hit him with the Roach Max. And even though double Immortal production should be good versus that, I don't know if you can defend. I mean, with cannons and batteries... yeah, he's breaking the rocks. He's getting ready for it. You need more Immortals. You can't miss a beat on Immortals. He needs to non-stop chrono Immortals, and he needs to battery overcharge. And he needs to Zealot run by, I think. I don't think you can use the Zealots at home, because the Roaches will just kite backwards, and then your Immortals can't fight. Trying to build a cannon there. Stasis Trap. Oh, Stasis Trap gets a few of these Roaches. That will slow down the advance a little bit. Got to be careful about attacking into those. You can see the Zealots are kind of derpy. The other Zealots are going across the map. They're going to intercept the rally point. I like that move. That's what the Zealots are best at. Your Immortals can kite backwards, and your Zealots can intercept the reinforcements. But there's lots of Ling Roach gathering up there. And if they can come in and engage these, that'll be great. REYNOR trying to push forward on the front at the same time. He's trying to gather to defeat the Zealots behind. The Zealots are starting to get overwhelmed. 6 drones did go down, though. Queens take out the Oracle. Roach Ravager Queen on the front, fighting as well as they can. The Immortals are trying to focus fire these Ravagers down. They do take out 1 or 2. Back at the mineral line, 10 drones have gone down. Uh-oh, REYNOR takes some big economic damage, but battery overcharge is exhausted, and already we've lost 1 Immortal. The Observer does siege up over that army. Immortal Zealot is setting itself up here to try and hang on. The cannons have helped out a good amount so far, but will they be able to continue? He needs more Immortals, and he stopped building them. He stopped building them for a moment. Uh-oh. He's only on 4 Immortals. Mana needs to keep building Immortals, or he will not be able to hang on. I think those Zealots should probably try to go around. A ball of Roach Ravager is so good against Zealots. Immortals are quite good against it, but they are outnumbered right now. Biles do land on the Zealots a little bit. The Roach is trying to focus down those Immortals. Nice Prism Micro for Mana. Mana hanging on with that clutch Prism Micro right now. Biles do get dodged by the pickups as well. The Zealots trying to only engage whenever the Roach Ravager overextends. He sees no drones on REYNOR's 4th base, and he knows it's just a matter of surviving right now. He clears a little bit of creep, which is a nice move, but he's got nothing to get rid of those Overlords that are taking a dump on the front doorstep of the Protoss base. Mana, does pull back. Takes a bile, loses a barrier. Not too bad, though. Roach is ready to run by on that bottom left side. They can run in and start picking off Zealots. This is where REYNOR can abuse his multitasking and his micro. It's pure Immortal Zealot. It's not the highest tech Protoss army. And look at that. Roach is running the bottom. They're going to start killing those Zealots. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Immortal's taking big damage. Good micro with the Prism. But that deserves Mana's attention. And if his attention's there, it can't be elsewhere. Zealots and an Immortal and Stalker trying to clean that up back there. They will clean those Roaches up. That's a sick hold, actually. Units lost tab close to even, but ahead for Mana. Mana is down 10 workers now, though. So REYNOR transitioning, +2 range, Baneley Nest on the way. He wants to go into that Ling Bane transition. I think a second Evo for melee would be nice. Mutalisk swap would be deadly. It'd be game ending, as there is no cannons or batteries in the natural, the main, or the third. Roach Ravager Zergling chasing after these Zealots. Zealots have got to be careful. You don't want to fight when you're outnumbered like this. I think an armor upgrade might be worthwhile here, just as a cheap upgrade to squeeze in. An Observer gets taken out, and big biles across those Immortals, knocking all their barriers off. Oh, you got to flank this army with some Immortal Archon or something. Look at this REYNOR. REYNOR's max. REYNOR's max. REYNOR's coming in the front as well. He's biles down an Immortal. He biled down an Immortal there, guys. And look at this. He's going to focus down an Immortal there as well. No, Mana very good with the micro. This feels like a Mio Micah game right now. Just Roach Ravager focusing down Immortals on all sides. Warp Prism Micro on the top is good. But look, he pulls back whatever the Zealots are there, and he shoves in the bottom. He goes in the bottom, out the top, in the bottom. It's a very nice in and out micro here for REYNOR. Does take out that third base. Back here, a few Ravagers go down, but the Immortals are forced back. And there we go. I mean, the Prism Immortal pickup micro is always the slickest part here. That's always what's especially nice, especially when you dodge projectiles. But Reynor realizes if he keeps Mana busy, he can't look everywhere at once. He can't always dodge those projectiles, right? He's watching, he does it perfectly. When Mana's able to watch, he crushes these fights. But whenever he's not watching, that's where he gets caught out. The Queen Ravager pushed back, Mana holding on valiantly. He's on 11 Immortals right now. I love this double Robo Mass Immortal style. It's one of my favorites. It reminds me of 2017. It's a good time, but Reynor has too many numbers. And as the Lings come in, there's nothing to deal with them. And it's an overwhelming count. It's too many barriers set off, no batteries nearby. One Prism can't juggle everything at once. Too many Biles across as well. And just great trades. After taking out those Immortals, Mana knows he is dead. And that's GG. Alright. What the hell is going on, everybody? We got Mana in the top left side of the map. Reynor in the bottom right now. And it looks like he's doing an old school hatch first. And oh, this is perfect. This counters him. Mana's doing what I told you guys about, sending one of his very first probes across to block the 15 hatch. But guess what? He's just going to go 16 hatch and take his third base. So Reynor, I think, comes out on top of this. It's not the same. If we went 14 hatchery, I think it would be even better. But this is still pretty good for him because that probe is so early. And that does slow down Mana's whole build a little bit. Mana now chrono boosting probes and going for a gateway on the natural. And Mana doesn't want to let him take his natural. So he's like, by following the drone, you sometimes bait the Zerg into pulling a second worker from the main base. And then you turn back at the last second to still intercept and block it. But not too bad. Pig, did you watch Koala Man? I don't know what Koala Man is. I'm just thinking of the Aussie Man Reviews clip of two koalas fighting on the road that someone recorded on their camera. Please get a link if you can find it and share that with me after this game. I'd love to check it out. I don't know what Koala Man is, but it sounds great. Probes bouncing around. Alright. Nexus goes down. It's going to be Nexus into Cybercore. You can see the Nexus is not that early. This is just because you send a probe across at the very start. Slows your build down a little. That being said, Reynor does have to take a third base, which is not optimal. So I think this works out pretty even between the players. I'd say slight advantage Reynor, as he might have a little bit more practice with this. I do like that Mana chose to do it. But it does feel like this really early probe block attempt, it's so rarely in the games that I see, happens to land at the right time. Ooh, oh, hello. Gets a bit of damage done on that probe. Cybercore's on the way into second gas, second pylon. Very standard follow-up for Mana. Now, this is a small map, Oceanborn. The problem I fear for Mana is I don't think you want to be going 2 gas charge into a 4th base into double Immortal again. Because as long as Reynor just builds a lot of Roach Ravager off 3 base, I think it's very hard to deal with. What could he have done differently to win that last game? Maybe if he... I mean, I think if he micros like a god in 2 places at once, Mana can still do it. Maybe doesn't let the 4th base get denied at all. Eventually add a Disruptor in. And just have no gaps in your Immortal production, maybe, but easier said than done, I feel. I wouldn't mind Mana doing something drastically different. Now, if you assume Reynor's going to play the same sort of style... Oh, look at that shield battery. What a weird wall off. Where is he going to build his 3rd structure, guys? This is a very awkward wall off for Mana. So, hot tip for anyone out there. If you guys struggle with your wall offs, I always feel like leave the choke point with the first 2 structures. Makes it really easy to then build your 3rd structure down on the bottom to finish off the hole. But if you build them on the edges and you leave a 2 space gap or a 3 or 4 or 5 space gap, things get really awkward usually. But we'll see what Mana does with it. Oh, he's going Oracle into 3rd base. Okay, so no more Void Ray. 2 Adept Pressure this time. Gets himself a Creep Tumor there. He's already killed 2 Zerglings in a Creep Tumor. He does cancel the Shade, but this is forcing a lot of Zerglings and a quick Ling Speed out of Reynor. Reynor's going to intercept him though. Uh-oh. And he's going to lose at least 1 Adept. Gets himself 2 Zerglings though and hides the Adept in the corner. Very well done. Ooh, I wouldn't have minded him canceling the Shade there. He's going to need to build another pylon in the wall off. A pylon doesn't even create a choke point. He's just got a probe there ready to wall off in case he gets in trouble. Oracle does not turn on its laser beam. Great trigger discipline. He's trying to build that, but that's a diagonal choke. That's really awkward. Oh, Oh, this is such an awkward wall off right now for Mana, man. Gonna have another Adept out soon. As long as he keeps probing nonstop pretty well from here, I think he can still end up in an okay spot. And it's a decent choke. There is a single space overlap between the core and the pylon, so that's not too bad. And he gets himself a single Zergling. Behind this, no Evo Chamber for Reynor. He's got 6 Queens, no Spore Crawlers, just lots of drones. A few more Zerglings as well, actually. Wow, that's surprising. He's building like 14 Zerglings. There is a Void Ray, so he's gone Oracle into Void Ray this time. Oh, cancel that Mana, cancel the Adept Shade. Okay, he does cancel the Shade. The Adepts will defend this base very nicely. Adept in the natural as well, but Reynor finds a probe. And that Oracle can turn on its laser beam if he wants to, but if he does, he's got to accelerate first. Because if you're not accelerating already, your Oracle has to start accelerating, and the Lings will be away. So you'll turn on your laser beam, and you won't even get a single Zergling kill if Reynor reacts quickly. So you usually want to have the Oracle at full speed when you turn the laser on. That way you can stutter step the Oracle and hunt down a lot of his Zerglings, since they have a similar movement speed. Good defense here, saving his Overlords. Baneling Nest is on the way as well as a fast melee. Does he see the Bane Nest? No. Lair is not up just yet. Looks like Reynor wants to play Hydra Bane. Let's charge again. Oh my god, it's the same 2-base charge style. I mean, Mana at least made the opening look a little different, so maybe Reynor's expecting something else? To be fair, a big Zealot pressure is kind of hard to deal with Ling Bane. I actually think not going Roaches when Mana's been doing the same style every game, it doesn't make a lot of sense for Reynor. Like, if you get to Hydra Bane, yeah, you hard counter him. But he has to be very careful to stop at 66 workers and mass units. And actually, he's stopping at 55 and massing Lings. Oh, so he's just going to try and kill the 4th base. He's just going to make sure the 4th base doesn't get up. But he's going to be lower on economy while he does that. So Reynor's got to be careful. If he can get some Banelings in the middle of the Zealots, it'll be great. It's a big if, though. He's got good scouting, though. Look at this, guys. Overseer in the main, or Overlord in the main. He sees the fast 4th. The Lings are going to move across. If he can surround these Zealots, that'd be fantastic. The Zealots see the Lings see the Zealots. Neither side turn around. They are both continuing forward. Plenty of Ling Bane at home to defend. Overlord in the main getting cleaned up by the Void Ray. The Zealots on the front are going to get surrounded by the Ling Bane. Charge kicks in. And actually, the Banelings all blew up on 1 or 2 Zealots. Not the best Baneling hits, but he should be able to defend. Adept Oracle will defend the 4th base. Nice defense for Mana. Units lost tab in favor of Mana. Those Baneling hits were very poor for Reynor. And he's got to make a few more. He's got 4 Banelings right now. Got to be cautious against this. Immortals are already building in 3 gases, so Mana's going to tech up really hard. He's basically going to go immediately as far away from focusing on Mass Zealot as possible. Cannon dies the instant it gets placed. Nice snipe there for Reynor. Ling Bane on the right side. Oracle see it, though. It's a good defensive setup for Mana right now. Cannon battery coming in all over. He's going to try and slide some Banelings into the 3rd base. Mana only sees it at the last second. Does he realize the Lings are poking in on the right as a distraction? Oh, he pulls away. But he's already lost 5 probes. I like that. Turning 2 probes around, a 1 or 2 to try and block is not bad. 3 more probes go down. 8 probes for 4 Banelings is a good trade for Reynor as he goes up to 80 plus workers and a 5th base. Plus 2 melees on the way. The Hydra Den is almost finished. Only 58 workers for Mana, and we have to wonder, how do you deal with this? I thought Robo Bay would be the play and go Colossus. Because you see Ling Bane, you know it's a decent chance if they open Ling Bane, it's going Hydra Bane. And I think Colossus are amazing against this. Storm is not bad, but definitely not as powerful as the Colossus Disruptor tech could be. Nice little Zealot attack. I like that cancel. Good cancel. Gets a refund there. Full refund if you unsiege that. Oracles on the left, but there's plenty of Queens and Spores. You don't want to lose these Oracles. Good reaction by Mana. That was slick. Robobay goes down for Mana. I love that choice. I think it could have been earlier, though. I do worry that there's going to be a Hydra this time, and Groove Spines did not queue up here. It's a very cheap upgrade. We're just casting Reynor for getting that in a game just the other day. Hopefully doesn't forget it again here, as that +1 range is important. Oh, Queen's out front! Queens are out front. There's not many Banelings right now to stop the Zealots. Oh god, Reynor's been very greedy. He doesn't have any Banelings. Great Baneling hit on the Zealots, though. Great Baneling hit. Hydra's coming forward. Transfuse is great. The micro from Reynor should not be doubted, but he needs a few more Banes. Defend the Hydras. Defend the Hydras. Oh, good Baneling morph timing. Zealot comes south. Looks like the Queen will take care of that, and that army gets cleaned up, and that looks like that should be game over. The supply is just insane. Mana would need a heroic defense to survive right now. There is no Groove Spines, so they are only 5-range Hydras, but there's 17 of them. Mass Link Bane, it seems like after a pretty stressful, exciting series for both sides. Mana with just a few Zealots, an Immortal, and an Archon is hoping to make some of that magic Warp Prism micro happen again. He's very good at it, but this is looking very bad for him. Mass Zealots warping in on the top. Oh, the Banelings aren't up there, actually, so that Hydraling should pull away. He focuses the Pylon down. I like the way Mana's trying to engage away from the main force of Protoss. He saves one Immortal with the Prism on the left. Nicely done. Hydras are getting hunted down over there. He's making the best of a terrible position as Mana. That Archon and Zealot will get cleaned up. These Zealots chasing the Hydraling away from where the Banelings are to defend. He's actually taking a not horrendous fight. He's pretty dead. He's pretty dead, though. The 4th base will go down as well. REYNOR remembered Groove Spines. REYNOR defends at home. He did lose more Hydras than he wanted to. 16 Hydras have gone down, but he started a hive. He sees the Colossi, which is the important part, and he's way up in the army supply. So, oh, he's going to jump on it. He's going to go for the Colossus if he can take him out. Stop the Archon Morph! Oh, the Baneling's not able to stop the Archon Morph. And the Colossus are going down. One of them falls. The Colossus Micro is good with the Prism. The Archon's barely surviving. The Colossus there and the Archons do end up holding off that army. Equal units lost, but with a 30 worker lead, REYNOR is still far ahead. 4th base goes up on the south side. Now for Mana, you need to think, how do I make an epic comeback? Not even an epic comeback, the most epic comeback. First steps first, he needs Viagra. He's going mass Colossus. He's got 2. He's building 2 more. Viagra is really important. The other thing that he's going to need to make his big daddy army as thick, firm, and hard as possible is probably Storm. Viagra starts up. Storm could be next. I wouldn't mind Storm. I feel like if you go Storm Colossus, you can defend from Vipers and feedbacks, and you can basically just get like a crazy efficient army and maybe survive until late game. We've already got a hive finished. Lurkaden's on the way. REYNOR is taking his 7th and 8th gases there. He's got so much money. Now, REYNOR going Lurkers is a great call. It's going to be fantastic against Colossi. Vipers to abduct as well. But wisely, Mana is going Immortals, which makes perfect sense. Immortals beat Lurkers. They're a more well-rounded army, and they're not as juicy a target for enemy abducts. He could always just use non-Storm High Templar for feedbacks and just get like 3 or 4 High Templar with a lot of energy. It's not a bad call, but he doesn't seem to have any information about what's going on. So Mana right now is just kind of chilling, trying to make a killer army. He's not really probing. And I guess his plan is probably, hopefully REYNOR does a big attack with lots of Ling Bane. You roast all them. Hopefully don't get abducted or blinding clouded too bad. And then you counterattack, you just go for the win. Because you're only on 57 probes. You've got 9 gates. You've got charge. He's going to make Blink just in case Broodlords come in. He will need some answer to it. But he can't afford to use his Forge right now. That's sitting idle. And it's just, yeah, Immortals, Colossus, Archons, and a Dream. REYNOR right now, investing in +2 range, +3 melee, Adrenal Gland, Seismic Spines. He's up on 10 gases, so he's got an immense amount of gas coming in. So the only problem for REYNOR is his Zerglings are useless in a frontal fight. Ideally, he pushes the south with Lurkers and does a giant Ling run by maybe on one of these other bases, or gets maybe in the natural, which still has a bit of a wide opening there. Vipers are out. Few High Templar warping in. I'm not sure if he's just going to morph Archons and just try to have... Yeah, he's just going to have an army so big it can't all be abducted, I guess. 4 Vipers with max energy. I mean, REYNOR should definitely be trading. He should be getting free pickoffs right now. Get those Lurkers forward. Just remember, you don't have anything backing them up. Good pullbacks right there. There's no Hydras down here either. He's trying to build some Hydras right now. REYNOR's taking his time a little bit longer than I'd like to see. Good Parasitic Bomb on the Prism, but it does save a Colossus, and the battery will heal it up. The Zealot Immortal flank on the right. I like that. I love this Zealot Immortal flank. So he's like, if you push in here, we're going to hit you broadside you. This big army. This army is giant. Oh, the Lurkers are out of position. The Lurkers are out of position. He's going to go for like a base trade type move. REYNOR's quickly scrambling home though. Remember, REYNOR is up 30 drones, but he's down in army supply a little bit right now. Parasitic Bomb on the Warp Prism. Not a bad move. He's abducting some Archons in. And you know what? The Archons get a few decent shots off, but the Lurkers, they need to burrow. They need to burrow right now. They're unburrowed. Oh my gosh. Okay, he's got to be careful. Blinding Cloud does go down, but now the Vipers are out of energy. They've used all of their happy juice right now. Only one of them has energy left. The Ling Bane on its own is not going to be able to fight this army. It's all about the Lurkers. He needs to protect his Lurker Ball. His Lurker Ball has no support. The Lurkers are getting jumped on by the Immortal Archon. What the hell? Mana was completely dead in this game, but the Lings are worthless versus this army. REYNOR, most of his supply is in drones and Zerglings and Banelings. He doesn't have any meat to buffer for his Lurkers. His whole army evaporates because yes, 10 Lurkers is powerful, but he had nothing else. He had nothing else in his army. And the Immortal Archon, the Colossus, they roast all of those light units so quickly. And the Lurkers without Blinding Cloud support, with no Roaches, no Hydras, no Banelings, nothing guarding them. REYNOR making a massive misstep, and Mana with a clutch counterattack, clutching victory from the jaws of defeat, perhaps. The supply is still very close right now, abducting into Lurker Hydra on the high ground, but look how quickly the Immortal Observer kill these. He needs Overseers to kill the Observers. He needs to if he can't get rid of the Observers, he can't defend. He needs Lurkers for the Colossus, but he needs to get rid of those Immortals as well, and dealing with the combo and the Observers is such a big problem. Mana just showing that clutch decisiveness of saying, it's now or never. I have a crap economy. I can't afford Storm. I can't afford carries. I gotta go. He just shoves across the map and catches REYNOR with his pants down. Oh me, oh my. That was a huge comeback. REYNOR had him dead to rights. But we've seen him make this mistake. Wasn't it a game versus Harstem or someone recently? There was a game we cast where something similar happened, where he basically, because his army's just Lingbane Hydra, he doesn't have like the Roaches to buffer his army, right? And don't get me wrong, he probably could have done like a maxed Hydra Lingbane timing, and I think he probably would have killed Mana just by having so much like if he comes in here, here, and here with like just 25 Hydras, mass Lingbane, he probably can just kill him, right? Just off the numbers alone. Because he was going Hive, Vipers, Adrenal, +1, Lurker Den, and then he took a long time to even use those once those were done. That was a bit of an issue. I think if he went Broodlords, it would have been better. What do you guys think? Because Broodlords, I don't know, does it really matter? I mean, Broodlords need support as well. The problem is that Lurkers get kind of countered by these ground units if they don't have support, especially the Immortals. And definitely not killing the Observers was big as well. I mean, maybe he just needed to trade off more Zerglings and get more Lurkers faster. I think we can argue that. He definitely could have pushed earlier. And there was just, where were the Overseers this game? So he has one on the Lurkers, one in the north. But Mana's defense setup was way too good. So he doesn't let REYNOR trade like he normally does with Baneling and Ling Run buyers. And then this army is just so wonky, right? It's just Lurker Viper. You gotta freeze at this point. You gotta say to yourself, like, where is your supply? 7 Queens, which are useless in the fight. 4 Vipers, which aren't fighting units. That's 14 plus 8 supply. That's 22 supply. The Banelings can be useful if your opponent's jumping on the Lurkers. The Banelings can run forward. That's like the one time they're kind of useful. The Zerglings are worthless. 90 drones as well. So it's this weird thing where he kind of just gets caught with like no actual army. He just, yeah, man. What a bizarre thing to happen. He just has no army. He's trying to build a few more Hydras, but he's like wasting Viper energy on parasitic bombs that do nothing as well. And then the way Mana comes forward and gets in a good position, these parasitic bombs are expensive, guys. I mean, that's cool. He kills 2 Lurkers. But even there, two Archons, sorry, but even there. And then he uses a Panic Blinding Cloud, and he's losing kind of economy and stuff. And yeah, this is a really tough spot where he actually kind of needed to let these workers die and then rebuild mass Hydra Lurker. The problem is he's building 56 Zerglings, which are useless here. Because if he had a Roach Warren and Roach Speed, I mean, it feels bad building Roaches into 4 Immortals, but Roaches were actually the right call here. He just doesn't have the tech. So it's got to be Hydra Lurker. It just has to be nothing but Hydras and Lurkers. And as long as you keep these Lurkers alive, you're going to keep abducting units into them with your Vipers. And even if you lose a few bases, some tech, some economy, you'll eventually be able to... You'll defend a few bases and you'll be able to win. The problem is, all he's got is 24 army supply. How much supply is a Lurker? 3 supply each? So 8 times 3? 12 times 3. 36 supply of army with 8 supply of support spellcasters. It's not a very good army. And he just gets jumped on there. No support. That's not enough units, man. He just needed more lurkers. He just needed more lurkers. He needed to respect the counter push ability. Or he needed to base trade. I think if REYNOR base trades, he's fine. Because the Ling Bane is useful in a base trade. If his Ling Bane attacks up here and his lurkers are like, oh, you're pushing, and they just shove in, then yeah, he could probably win a base trade. So definitely, obviously recall's annoying. But I think, yeah, that would be the other thing that you should do. If you are stuck on mass lings, you feel you can't make more lurkers, you got to do that. But the Zerglings are just worthless versus this much Colossus Archon. And great decisiveness for Mana to use this kind of shorter rush distance map to just shove through the middle. Gets in between his bases and his lurkers. And REYNOR, a little bit too Zergling dependent, does get caught out. Massive win for Mana. What a heroic comeback in this game as well. He was completely dead. GG, well played. Mana, what a savage. Don't forget to open up the description and go check out Mana's YouTube, guys. He puts up a lot of really fun videos. He's been doing really cool challenges, and he's one of the best Stormgate players in the world right now from what we saw in that show match. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.